Okay.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the latest edition of the Radcast. We'll call it a not so special edition, because I think we're gonna start doing this regularly. I kind of like a special edition because if you're watching the video, you'll see this live, but we're in the cozy comforts of the new Radcast studio, which includes a nice ambiance of fireplace. But thank you, Reiley, for bringing that in. But
you're welcome.
You've got Josh Hill, our digital media manager here at Radical. Josh, good to have you as always.
Good to be here.
And, of course, the lovely Reiley Clark.
Yes, thank you. Glad to be back.
Co-host, producer, Madame Extraordinaire.
Thank you. I appreciate all the titles.
Yeah, what else we can give you? We like to give people lots of titles so they feel empowered to do lots of different tasks here at the agency.
Absolutely.
Good old twofer.
Yeah, exactly. How many hats can we all wear?
I think it's good. How's life though, guys? Like, what's been going on?
Holidays for the Alford family. Chasing an elf around every morning. My kids come out wondering where he is, and my wife having to remember to hide him. And she bought like this kit, like for these different outfits that he gets in. And every night about 10 o'clock, I'm like halfway asleep, and she's going, "That damn elf!" I gotta remember, remembering what it is. So it's fun. I curse it, but it is fun. It's not fun when you wake up in a cold sweat at 1 a.m. going, "Did we do the elf?" But it's right. The kids love it. So we're in the throes of holiday traditions and all that.
Yeah, do you feel like you still hate him enough to like hang him from the Christmas tree, like you were talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Is it getting to that point?
I think that might be the last night. Like I'll probably do like a spoof version. I'll take a picture of it. I'll take it for the old Graham, a spoof version, and then where we actually really put them.
Is there some sort of like elf protective services I can call?
Yeah.
There we go.
That SOB's not coming back to our house. I'll tell you what. No.
That's funny.
It's cool,
Yeah.
But the kids are getting excited for old Santa Claus, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you all do the milk and cookies and all?
Yeah,
that?
we'll do all that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's the normal traditions, and we got a few little things that we do, but I think we're pretty standard household, other than the 5 Christmas trees.
Right.
whichever one now can relate to, having been to our house. We had the holiday party.
Yeah, that was super fun.
It was fun. A radical Christmas party.
Oh, it was beautiful.
That was good. I liked that. I
should have taken one home. I don't have a Christmas tree in my apartment yet. Yes. How about just drawing one on the wall?
Yeah.
Hey, you could. I've seen some people, they take thumbtacks, and then they basically make a garland thing, like just right on the wall. You could essentially just do that, and then just put like little bulbs just right on the garland. You could, little DIY could be the move. This is getting dangerous. Little DIY little session going on in here.
I think you could have snuck away with. My wife would have been eventually, but you could have just taken one, walked out the door, pre-decorated that, all done for you. And
you don't think she would have noticed at all?
Maybe a day or like Clayton's room is in the front of the loft, and with our blended family, he's only there half the time, and so I think it might have taken a couple days potentially, but she would have definitely noticed it once you walked in there. But
I'll just blame it on the elf.
Yeah.
Right.
So how are things going at work, Josh?
Good. It's the crunch time of getting all the holiday stuff in. Most of the holiday ads they're out and about, they're running, they're getting people just kind of tying up the year really at this point, getting ready for next year, and making sure all the ends are tied of the loose knots and stuff, kind of setting up new expectations for 2021 with all of our clients and stuff, really wanting to take some big progressive steps, get on top of like new trends and stuff, especially creatively, text-wise on captions and stuff, and then a lot of new tools coming out.
I will say, before we go down that path, I've really enjoyed. We landed on a Santa Claus. We found him. We work with a furniture company called Jimmy's. Really great guys, and we've been able to do some really cool holiday spots I weren't sure we'd be able to pull off with COVID and all those kind of things. But we found a local Santa Claus that I swear is in the top 10 best Santa Clauses I've ever seen.
He's great.
Big dude. He kind of looks the part. He's got the beard. He's got a legit outfit that I think he spent $2,000 on or something. It looks.
No way.
I don't know.
Two.
It may not be that much.
Oh, I thought he like told you.
It's a $600 Santa outfit if it's $1.
But it's a $2,000 looking outfit.
Yeah. Super big belt. Everything else like legit. And so we did a great commercial spot for Jimmy's. So then we brought him back in for kind of some micro content for both our Radical team and then a few other clients. And so I was pretty pumped with all that we did with that. And
it was great for me to work with him. It's the
your alter ego.
It's the fun part of my job is I'll be in a meeting talking about going over reports like, oh, we did this many impressions, this frequency, we drove this many conversions, and then I get out of the meeting and put on a burger suit and sit on Santa's lap. Like,
hey, back to wearing many hats here.
Yeah.
As a boutique agency, we really push our employees to show all their talents.
Really, at Radical, I'm an actor. I'm the on-staff actor, and then I do the ads on the side.
Yes, I think so. I mean, but you are a hell of an actor. I will dare say some of our best content comes from Josh going into character or just being yourself. I'm not sure which one. And I'm talking about like when we did the hot mic one, a few loose.
I don't think even I know.
Yeah, which one it is?
Yeah, it's all blended together.
Yeah.
I've lost myself.
Yeah, exactly.
That is funny.
So, but no, I've enjoyed the Santa stuff, and Burger Boy's been a hit with a local client that we work with, LTO Burger, which does have a great burger, yeah, so it's been interesting seeing all the content come to life for the holidays.
Yeah. Are there any like holiday traditions you guys really do like with your I mean, I know you kind of talked about like you all do Elf on the Shelf, like the cookies and milk, that kind of thing, but is there anything that's like you feel like is just your big holiday tradition that it just doesn't necessarily feel like the holidays like without it, Do you all have one of those?
We do like a Christmas Eve dinner usually, and then we always follow up on Christmas Day with soup.
What kind of soup? Is it a special kind of soup? Or?
There's always 3 kinds. My grandma used to always make like a veggie soup, some chili, and then there's always those 2 staples, and occasionally we'd have like a third like extra one too. But it's every year for Christmas.
Right. We would always do this. It's a game called Mafia, and I feel like there's probably different versions of it. It's either like Killer or Mafia or whatever. And granted, I mean, you say a name like that, it sounds horrible, but it's a super fun game because, you have it's a card game essentially, but you have your whole group of people. And normally, for family things, at least, back in West Virginia, we would have like a pretty big group of family that would be there, and we'd all play this game. But it's like, you have the queens, you have the kings, and then you have the ace. And the queens are the mafia, the kings are the cop, the ace is the doctor, and if you get a number card, the rest of you are just townspeople, okay? So hold on. It's fun. And it's really not that complicated. But the queen is like the one that's like trying to basically kill the rest of the people. So, the narrator's like, okay, everyone close your eyes, go to sleep. Everyone's eyes closed, And then the narrator will say, okay, mafia, wake up. And the mafia points to someone they're trying to kill. And basically the cop's trying to figure out who the mafia are. The doctor's trying to save the potential townspeople. But it ends up causing, honestly, family arguments.
It's a fun game.
It is a fun game, but it causes, you wouldn't believe, like, the arguments that can come
I can tell
from
your
kind of
family
game.
must be like a huge game family, because every time I'm around you, like outside of work, it's like new game proposal.
Yeah.
She knows all. She knows
play Rummy? Okay.
any card game. Any card game, and then all of the rules.
Yeah.
She's on top of it.
It's okay.
Our traditions are pretty normal. Like, my parents are divorced, and we go to my mom's, who lives in Columbia, which is a couple hours, or less than a couple hours away from Greenville, where we're at, and we go down to hers the weekend before the holidays, and she cooks a big meal, and we do, gifts with her, and there's these micro traditions, I guess, that we do every year. And then my dad, I'll cook like a prime rib or something, like sometimes Christmas Eve, sometimes Christmas Day. We do it depending on the schedule with the kids, because we flip every other year. Like, we have them Christmas Eve. We get them at least Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, depending on the year.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I mean, but so there's some standard things, and then we always watch the Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
always
that's
on.
right. Yeah.
We're big Chevy Chase fans anyway, and so
Yeah.
classic movies. And then I watch Christmas Story. One of the channels was at TBS or something, shows the 24 hours of Christmas Story. So we get that in at least 4 times.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's just kind of on replay.
Yeah.
On the TV.
Yeah. Were you guys into like the Hallmark movies at all? Like, well, you guys are. I hate to say it this way, but I don't even know if you guys would have really watched it. I feel like I don't know if it's just more of like a girl thing or whatever. Actually, my brother liked some of them. I mean, I feel like there's some guys I know that like some of them, but do you feel like you guys liked?
I've seen them.
Yeah.
But genuinely do not know how, or why. But I've seen them. And that's my only opinion on them. Is I've seen them.
The storylines always get to me. I
can't
just
say
can't.
I've watched many Hallmark movies.
Really?
I don't think I chose to watch them.
I don't necessarily know that you're missing out either, to be honest, because it's they're very interesting.
They're not.
They're not. You don't think
No,
they're
I think
interesting
they're
at all?
interesting. They're interesting because they're like kind of the same thing every time. Just someone's back in your hometown. They're like, oh.
But don't you love guessing? Like you're like, okay, is she gonna leave him, or it's like all these.
It is very formulaic, having not even watched them, but
Yeah.
knowing I have watched Hallmark movies, and they're all formulaic on some level. Like a soap opera or something else. It's like,
It's kind of the beauty of it.
antagonist, hero, challenge, issue, resolution, happy, touchy, go-feely ending. Did I summarize it?
Yes, but I do have a fun fact for you guys, actually. Did you know that every Hallmark Christmas movie has to have a requirement of, for example, there has to be someone decorating a Christmas tree. There has to be hot chocolate in front of a fireplace.
Right.
There has to be lighting of the tree. Like, there has to be all these things, and it has to be in every Christmas movie. Isn't that kind of crazy to think about?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's probably really not that crazy.
Do we need to add those for every Christmas ad we do?
Yeah, I guess.
Adopt some of those rules?
Adopt some of them.
Guess we're not running any right now, if that's the case.
No.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Is there anything going on like social media wise that you guys have noticed? I mean, I've picked up that there's Facebook is having a new app that's kind of coming out. Well, actually, I feel like it's an app that's been out, but I think they're revamping this app to create more collaboration for musicians to like come into the scene, and basically it's trying to pick up what TikTok kind of, I don't want to say lost track of, but I feel like TikTok kind of became more almost a Vine kind of territory a little bit, and not necessarily that like musically kind of intentional what it was originally kind of meant to do. But do you guys have you guys heard about that at all?
I've looked into it. I mean, it's one of those like, TikTok's kind of grown into this spot where it's sort of like YouTube, where it's a platform and it's not like one thing. There's like a lot of different avenues you can go down. There's comedy. There's still the lip syncing with dancing like Musical.ly was, and then there's also like cooking tutorials. Like I've watched copywriting how tos and like doctors tell stories, stuff like that. And then I mean, obviously most of it's just ridiculousness, but which is the beauty of it. But it seems like they're going for like just a very small like segment of TikTok where it's like musicians would download a TikTok and then add their piece on it and then re-upload it. It seems like they're kind of going off of that. I don't know. It could be fun. I mean, it seems really like a thing for like hobby musicians of people kind of do it like as a side thing. I don't really see it as a way to like kind of grow your like audience if you are an artist or anything.
Right.
I feel like it's a reaction because TikTok's expanded past the music, like you mentioned, Josh, and Facebook is getting so bloated with stuff. Like, I know that it's meant to be the hub of everything. So like, but it's like, when does it end? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I guess if
do you feel like it's trying to be the Google of social media?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Facebook tends to do that often, where they just kind of like reiterate like a half-baked like version of something else.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's always moves just to kind of avoid the whole I mean, avoiding the whole monopoly thing. But
Yeah, like Facebook Watch, like since it's gotten more into the navigation on the bottom of the app, I do watch it. I think I almost accidentally hit the button when I'm actually meaning to go to like Marketplace. You know, like I do like to use Marketplace. I will say that, and I don't even buy that much stuff. I just kind of shop around. Like, oh, that's cool. That baseball card that I'll never buy. I don't know what it is. Like, you know, but I accidentally hit the watch button and catch a few. And there's a lot of, I don't know why there is. There's like magicians and people that like are obviously doing videos that to get people to watch longer than 3 seconds. Like I feel like I'm watching it going, all right, I know what they're doing here.
I'm starting to think people don't want a centralized social hub.
Yeah.
Because I think they enjoy having the ability of, if they don't want this portion of social media, they don't have to have that app. Like, so they have Instagram for their images, some video.
Yeah.
So if they don't want to watch the 10-minute videos on YouTube, they don't have to have it. They don't have to go to YouTube. And same with like Twitter. You don't care to read statuses like Facebook. You have to see everything.
Yeah.
You don't have to have Twitter.
Speaking of Twitter, have you seen that Twitter is starting to? They're going to be creating a shareable version for Instagram stories with tweets, and that way you can just like send it directly to other platforms. Have you seen that?
Oh, so it's like integrated cross-platform, like their fleets.
That's what I understood it to say.
Wow.
Is that weird to think about?
No.
I haven't seen, the only people I've seen use their Twitter stories or fleets, which I kind of don't want to call it that, but it's also hilarious.
Fleet.
Right.
But it's
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel uncomfortable saying fleets, but I do. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm like it's fleets.
there's
Okay.
a very small audience who would understand why it's kind of inappropriately funny,
Yeah.
but I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's where my mind goes. Like, yes.
That's funny.
We'll see how fleeting it really is.
Well, no, exactly. Do you feel like these stories are even beneficial on all the social media platforms?
I think that for certain platforms, yes. But it kind of relates to what I was saying about the Facebook thing. Everything is so splintered now. Like, attention is so splintered. You got Snapchat, which we barely even talk about, which I know you both use, and I don't. And I'm not saying you use it a lot, but I know you probably have accounts and use it occasionally.
Yeah.
And not to
I use it all the
stereotype, but if
time.
I'm going by stereotypes, Riley probably uses it more than any of us as a
Probably.
20
No, just
something, female, and all the disparate content she likes to post. Come on now, you know I'm right.
Put me in my place.
But it's just like, okay, Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, and
LinkedIn stories
YouTube
too.
and then LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and then you've got the subcategories within each one.
Right.
Stories, posts, whatever. And I don't know. It's just overwhelming.
Yeah.
And look, we're in the business.
Yeah.
But we make these decisions every day where clients should focus, but it's like it's splintered. Like,
But what does
attention
that
is splintered.
balance
It's like
look
it's like
like?
it's like my mindset half the
Right.
time like is being
And
a
I
little,
mean, like, it's one of the things of, like, I think brands or the platform should stay differentiated. And, like, I understand there's, like, innovating and adapting. And, like, it seems like they're thinking they're adapting by adding stories to their platform. But it's,
Yeah.
like, I don't think it's doing it the way that they think they are.
no.
Like, they're all different environments. It's okay to not have stories on your social media platform.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
And I like that excuse me, there I go, Freudian slip, and actually appropriate, but I was trying to say LinkedIn. I liked it when it first came out. Like, LinkedIn stories make sense to me because it gives you a place to do something a little different with LinkedIn. It made sense, but I can't find time to get to it.
Yeah.
Not for myself. you
No,
know?
I mean, and the other thing is I have hardly seen a lot of people even really take advantage of it
No, I don't
because
think they are.
because my other thing is I don't necessarily want LinkedIn to become Facebook. Like, and I feel like it's kind of starting to gravitate that way because some people are just sharing, which don't get me wrong. I think it's very important to have this emotional aspect of business and marketing. We talk about that all the time, but there are some things that I feel like that could have just been a Facebook post and would have been just fine on Facebook and not necessarily on LinkedIn, which I feel like sounds like, oh, you can only post this and not that.
Right.
I'm not trying to say that, but it's like, I don't necessarily I don't look at LinkedIn. Wow. and feel like this is like my Snapchat or feel like this is my Instagram. I just
like Facebook and LinkedIn probably have the biggest like overlapping audience out of all of them. But I feel like that brings a lot of people who are like, oh, like I use all social media platforms the same, as opposed to being like, oh, this is LinkedIn, this is not Facebook, I need to share different things. I think it's a generational thing too, because I mean people over 30 something are people who kind of adapted like kind of later on in their life, maybe like high school, college, but like whereas us, we kind of like middle school is when like internet was like a significant portion of
or even you were allowed to create
culture and like culture and stuff, so we were like kind of digitally native, and so we've kind of, I feel like younger generations kind of like compartmentalize the platforms a little bit differently.
That's true.
Yeah. And I think, you know, LinkedIn's grown a lot in the last 18 months, and even more so with COVID, people being home, having more time, I guess, potentially with devices and other things. And so I think you've seen it transform into this, you know, content hub that's similar to Facebook, like you said. There's definitely that overlap, and I see that because the audience, I think, very few overlap. Like I'm almost surprised and I think some of this just being in the business and as long as I've been on Instagram, but very few people on LinkedIn follow me at all on Instagram. Right. You know, like it's very small overlap. Like a couple people, like I'll get DMs or like a message or something, or like somebody, oh, I had no idea you're so active on Instagram. Like, you know, like they're on LinkedIn. I'm like, that's that. And it's this interesting thing where I feel like it's not that brands aren't obviously large brands, but it's just a lot of consumer brands are on Instagram, but B2B, LinkedIn is the platform. Yeah, there's just very little, and not that they should be, by the way, on Instagram necessarily. Right. But there's just very little crossover with that. It's like it's just purely like D2C brands is like live and breathe there, and thus I think their people kind of do, you know, the employees and things like that. But not, you just do not see much interaction with B2B brands on Instagram at all, and that's probably fitting, right? But it's definitely eye opening when certain people that you would think, I still feel like it's underserved in a way for business. Yeah, with Instagram. I think a lot of people get on there just to get on there, and then they kind of like don't really know where to go with it, and like what they don't know why they're on there, just because someone said, "Oh, you have to be on here." Yep. Everyone's going digital. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Change topics a little bit here.
Yep.
Thinking about something that I saw come out today too. It's kind of back on that movie track, because I feel like I end up always circling back to movies in some shape or fashion. Yeah. But did you see that Matthew McConaughey is coming out in the new Marvel movie? Well, Loki, like I guess it's the additional one, but he's like now like a silver fox in this movie.
Is it Matthew McConaughey or is it
Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Okay, I was really going. I thought I saw the preview or something.
It's about to be two completely different movies.
Man, this is going down. I was kind of buying it for a second because I could see Matthew McConaughey being a Marvel superhero on some level. I'm not sure he's not a superhero in real life. Yeah, but
that is funny.
He's definitely one of the superheroes from a different planet, though.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Are there any movies that you feel like are coming out though in at least 2021 that you've heard of that you're like, okay, I'm like so ready for this movie to come out, like, or you know, a new show or something like that? I know Disney's about to drop like
They announced like every single movie ever.
Yeah, they are seriously about to just dump on the new on the platform.
Right. Yeah, I saw a few TikToks joking about it they just opened up a box of Marvel like comics and they're like, yep, turn these into movies. All right, have fun. Just what have we not done? Yeah, let's do those.
Yeah.
Well, I think they were realizing, you know, with movie theaters all but extinct, not forever, but with COVID, and just barely getting going.
Right.
Probably
Right.
not going to really be up and going until, summer blockbusters are probably just starting to somewhat embrace the streaming aspect of reality.
Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting, is watching. Can that, there's certain things the genie's come out of the bottle on.
Yeah.
Like, is that genie going back in the bottle? Like, is that,
Yeah.
when are people going to really embrace going back? Maybe they're going to be all over it once everyone feels safe and there's vaccine majorly out there and all that, and people are going to die to get back to the movies. But that's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the big theaters and a lot of the people that have pushed back forever, now see it's been 9 months or however long,
Yeah.
they're like, I think we're going to have to embrace this streaming thing if we want to make some money.
Yeah, I think so too. Like a lot of the theaters beforehand were already like struggling as like without any any external factors.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like a lot of, I mean, the movie experience is not always that great. You go in and it's like a rundown theater and it's $15 to watch something, and it's like I'm paying less than this a month to have any movie on my own couch with my own food.
And at home,
Exactly.
and at home TVs and theater and speakers and all that have gotten so better,
Yeah.
so much better for
Oh,
everyone
100%.
at all levels of economy. You don't have to have a $10,000 movie theater room because
Right.
everyone's got a big screen TV at home. And no matter if you're in an apartment, if you've got a 45-inch TV
Right.
and you're in a small apartment, that looks like a big screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got the
We're both like, yeah.
the the 3-in-1 speakers, sound,
Yeah.
turn the bass up. You're like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm kind of got a movie theater experience, and I've got the access to my whole kitchen right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, I think what you'll see, and you started to see this, is if the theaters are going to survive, is if they provide experience. Like the ones that are doing like other things there, cocktails and
Yeah.
food while watching the movie. Sign me up.
I mean,
Yeah,
those are
why
that
wasn't
starting
that
to come.
already a thing?
Those
But
are
Yeah.
doing really well. I mean, the lounge seats, the reclining seats, the
Yeah.
like leather ones. Those are all like the ones that already had adapted to like making it a good experience versus being at home. That's like I feel like the only way they can make it work.
Yep. And I think it's going to open up. I was starting to get into that with in-theater marketing. I think you're going to see some expansion in that area as the experiences within the theater and the things that you're doing and how you're interacting with it. I think you'll see the marketing within those experiences potentially increase.
Right.
Because I've always liked it because you have a very candid turn off your phones. You have a very candid audience. You know, those pre-movie ads,
Yeah.
I've always liked it for the right clients, not for every single client. The pre-movie, or the product placement always gets me with the roller coaster and the popcorn popping,
Yes,
the
it's
Coca-Cola
so
that
good.
looks so delicious right there.
I know.
I'd probably go buy Coke or Coke Zero half the time that pops up. I'm like, yeah, that does look good.
It tastes better after seeing it.
No, it's true. It's true. I feel like there's probably a lot coming up in 2021. Obviously, as far as trends, movies, whatever it is, and I'm looking forward to all that coming out. And I know you guys are about to do an episode anyway on the 2021 trends, so that's going to be exciting to come out soon. But that'll be coming out Tuesday. So
I
for
think
you
that
guys-
our trends will be trending soon.
Yeah.
I think it should trend. I think we
think
should
so.
get our trending episode trending.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna trend. I
Yes.
mean, it's gonna be pretty trendy. We should probably dress pretty trendy.
Yeah,
Talk
we
about
should.
trendy things.
Yeah.
Trends are on trend right now.
Oh my God.
Trends are kind of trendy
Yeah,
right now.
but I think
you know?
after the next few months, I think trends are gonna be out.
This is like the conversation is water actually wet?
Yeah, right.
That's literally what
Yeah.
this just sounded like. Like it's,
Or like John Malkovich. Malkovich? Yeah.
but yeah.
Which we do have a tunnel in our house for
Yeah.
John Malkovich, as you saw.
Oh,
in
yeah.
our loft. Did we talk about that?
No, what
The
is
doorway
that?
to
I spotted it.
Malkovich.
And I thought that, but we didn't talk about this, so this is
Yes.
fun.
Well, we have 20-foot ceilings, and there's our place where the hot water heater lives and the air filters and all that. It's high up, and you have to have a ladder to get up there. But there's this little door that's looks like a dollhouse or a playhouse door up in the ceiling. It's
Oh, that little tiny door. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing that. Yeah.
It's the guest room.
it is the guest room. But I haven't been watching. It's been sport when sports came back. Summer had no sports practically at all. And so I'm not like an NFL guy. Usually it's college football, Clemson fan, Tigers, go Tigers. But it being away for so long, it kind of, this whole like fall season and winter season, I've been more into sports because it was gone all summer.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of really curtailed any movie watching whatsoever.
Yeah.
And now just kind of starting to, we talked about on one of the other episodes, Cobra Kai I'm enjoying, which is, I'm really wanting, it's not silliness, but like lighthearted. Like everything's just so intense with the news and everything else that like, I just need like some easy listening, easy watching fare.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because this year was the first year I started watching any format of like anime, and it's basically exactly that. It's just like I've been watching some from like the 90s and some movies too. Just beautiful scoring, beautiful animations, and like it'll be like a deep theme, but like all of a sudden they're just kicking, punching, and things are exploding, like, and there's giant robots, and it's like I can turn my mind off and also experience some beautiful drawings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any like liquid acid or anything happening where this? Don't answer that.
Parody.
Yes.
It's another hat.
I will say, but to that end, like I was watching, flipping through the other night. The mindless flipping you do before you go to bed, at least so I do, and Tommy Boy was on.
Yeah.
And
love
so like
Tommy
I was like, why don't
Boy.
they make movies like this anymore? Like this is just kind of mindless humor and like, but
There's been a couple that came out that like really flew under the radar. I'll send you
ones?
the recommendations.
All right.
There's one recently that was they came together, and it was just a parody on every like rom-com ever made, and it was just kind of like mind-melting because every single word that came out was just some kind of pun. Like
That's funny.
people like fell out of windows comically, like they're like, it was just insane. Like and it was like Amy Poehler and Paul Rudd, and it was very not popular. I don't know why.
That's interesting.
It makes me very sad. It was very old school, a lot of slapstick.
Yeah. The only other thing I've been watching is Master of None. That's on
Yeah.
Netflix. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
that is good.
I've watched
Lighthearted.
that like 2 or 3 times, and
Two
wow.
or three times?
Yeah, in college,
Oh, okay.
I loved that. That was like one of my favorite shows.
The Master of None.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Netflix show.
Aziz
It's,
Ansari,
Yeah.
it's good. It's
Greenville local, Greenville native.
I did not know that.
From
cool.
like Spartanburg, Greenville area.
Nice.
Super cool.
Did you guys see who's the really, I kind of makes fun of everyone, or shouldn't even brought it up if I can't remember the name, but the guy with the funky hair who's foreign,
Yeah,
who shot some of it here in Greenville.
Yeah, Sacha Baron
Borat?
Cohen.
Yeah,
Borat.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Borat.
did y'all watch the second one?
I did.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Was it,
He shot in the Halloween Highway, or yeah. We used to go there every Halloween before, like, just to pick up
was
my
he just like
costume for the
making
year.
fun of people from the South, or was it?
It was,
not
I mean,
quite that, or
kind of, yeah. I mean, but gosh, that Halloween store is beautiful though, because they still have like unopened costumes from movies that came out in like 2001, like 1999. and
Beetlejuice,
stuff.
like originals.
Oh yeah, and it's like unopened brand new masks and stuff, and it's like they just never sold, and they're still there.
Nice.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Can't say it's a great business model, but it's a fun afternoon.
As far as, that goes, I mean, that's pretty much, I guess our little round table for today.
Yeah, that's good.
I know we have other business things
I
that we
know.
have to get
gotta
to
get-
Client
today.
meeting, like watching my clock.
I know. I was
client call
paying
in 10
attention.
minutes. We do
I know.
have
I
work
was
to do.
I was paying attention, so I realized I gotta cut this off here. But
No,
yeah.
good episode.
yeah,
Enjoyed it.
absolutely, yeah.
All right.
Follow along the Radcast on Instagram at the.rad.cast. Ryan's obviously on Instagram that you all should go follow him at Ryan Alford. Josh is Josh Chill.
Yeah.
A very clever middle name that creates a
Yeah.
very cool username. And then, welcome to follow me on Instagram too. Rosie Ryan.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time on the Radcast.
Bye.